In this video, we're going to look at solving absolute value inequalities. So I have our two different cases. Just please remember that, and just the same with absolute values and inequalities, if your absolute value is ever, there's different cases depending on if it's -0 that you come up with, but this is just our two different cases in case we have less than or greater than. So the main idea is that I always have to isolate my absolute value first. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 2 from both sides, and I'll have 4 times the absolute value of 3x minus 2 is less than or equal to 8. And my absolute value is still not isolated, so I'll have to divide both sides by 4. And now we have the absolute value of 3x minus 2 is less than or equal to 2. Well, when I have a less than, what we need to do is we need to also find all the values so that it's greater than -2, greater than the opposite. So I can say -2 is less than or equal to our 3x minus 2 is less than or equal to 2. And now I'm just solving an inequality. So I'll add 2 to both sides, to all three sides, the two sides in the middle. So I have 0 is less than or equal to 3x is less than or equal to 4. Now we divide out the 3 by dividing everyone by 3, and we get 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 4/3. So whenever we have a less than and we're solving a absolute value, it leads to the kind of where the idea in the middle is squeezed in between the opposite of our value, the -2, and the positive of our value. And when we're dealing with a greater than, this will lead us to that or statement. Well, it looks like my absolute value is already isolated, so that I have no work to do, and I'm just ready to go. So what we can do is we can say that the absolute value, the argument on the inside of the absolute value is greater than 6, or the argument on the inside of the absolute value is less than the opposite, so less than -6. And now we just solve both equations independently. So I'll subtract 4 from both sides, and I'll get 2x is greater than 2, divide by 2, and we get x is greater than 1. And now we solve the other side, and I'll subtract 4 from both sides, so I have 2x is less than -10. Divide out that 2, and we get x is less than -5. So our solution is x is greater than 1, or x is less than -5. And that's how we can solve absolute value inequalities.